Daily Fail. That picture you see there, you're going to see that in most pictures. It's almost the same picture, in fact, and that shows you that doesn't matter which paper you get, they all get the information from one source, which is of course Reuters. Fleeced at the petrol pumps. Fioria's drivers are overcharged by £2.50 a tank and prices hit 3-year high. Filling stations are overcharging drivers by at least £2.50 per tank, a report claimed last night. We're not just fleeced on petrol, we're fleeced on road tax, which isn't used on the roads. We're fleeced on repairs. We're fleeced by the corrupt councils putting ramps all over the place, knackering up the vehicles that you then have to pay for. What you need to be doing in them situations, you have any problems with your suspension or tyres, you should be putting a bill into the council, because they've caused it by putting these bleeding ramps everywhere. Mirror. Andrew McLean's Guide to Surviving the Menopause. Yeah, I don't think I'll need that info. Captain Fantastic. Kane's late, the same picture again. Kane's late header wins it for England in nerve-jangling World Cup opener. Dad's bizarre chat with Harry. Never hit my Megan. New embarrassment as Thomas Markle reveals wedding ultimatum and Prince's views on Brexit. Who gives a shit what his views on that is? It's just a parasitical piece of shit. This scum. As you see, almost identical picture again. Kane scores twice amid insect swarm and roars, I'm buzzing. Parasites. Meg Dad Harry will give Don a chance. PM tax will rise to boost the NHS. No, not at all. Tax will rise because we're going to rob you blind, as we have been doing since you've been alive. We've robbed you to death, and we're going to rob you when you're dead. As the new thing come out about where they're robbing 100 quid off each death, and the banks are ripping you off as well. What a shock! We're robbed from birth to death, and everything in between. The Guardian, same picture again. Harry Kane. 3 killed by train at well-known graffiti spot. US will not be a migrant camp like Europe, declares Trump. You look at what's happening in Europe, we can't allow that to happen in the United States. He's spot on with that one. We shouldn't be allowing it to happen in here. We should lock up the government, shut the borders, deport everyone that's come in that's from what they call the migrants. Every single one. And you say, why? Well, let's think. They've passed through Italy, Spain, Portugal, France, Germany to get here. Why is that? Because they know they get more money here and houses here, while our own indigenous population are left on the streets starving, men, women, children, because of the government. And it doesn't matter which one, they're all the same. Express. Parasite alert. Brexit, Trump and domestic violence. How Meghan's dad stunned Prince Harry. He's not a prince, he's a pervert. Taxes will rise to pay for NHS boost, but we won't find out how much until budget. Let me just point something out there. Taxes do not need to rise. In fact, they could be cut. In fact, no one should pay tax because it's theft. But all the mega corporations that don't pay tax could pay for everything. And you wouldn't need to be taxed at all, because if the corporations paid their tax, that would cover everything else. But the reason they use tax is to beat you down and keep you under control and keep you an obedient slave. Every time you start getting income, think about it, you do it extra time to get some extra money and they take more tax off you, because they don't want you having enough money to be able to just chill out, go on holiday, and when you get back, chill out a bit more, just see what's going on. Oh, the government are corrupt. The councils are corrupt. The police are run by paedophiles, Freemasons. The courts are corrupt. That's what they don't want you to see. Unindependent. Brexit was never about immigration. Heaven is a garden centre in Shropshire. NHS funding shows that austerity failed. Yep. Kane read the script, then ripped it up. England win World Cup match. Now, Windrush scandal engulfs more countries. British citizens from Asia and Africa hit by hostile environment. Well, don't come here then. The Times. Trump attacks Merkel over open-door immigration policy. I agree with him. There's no more money, Hammond tells Cabinet. NHS boost leaving nothing for schools or defence. Well, we've got no Army, Navy or Air Force, so we don't need any defence, do we? Because you've destroyed that. Helicopter parenting is bad for children, and picture Kane again. Star. We can do it, yes we can. Parasite alert. Don't hit me again, Dad plea to new husband Prince Harry. He's not a prince, he's a ginger prick, and he's a production of Hewitt and Diana. Telegraph. Keep calm and Harry on. War on cannabis lost, says Hague amid cabinet row. There shouldn't be a war on cannabis. Cannabis is a natural plant that has millions of benefits for all of us. That's why they don't want us to have it. And of course it cures cancer, AIDS, arthritis, mental problems, you name it. Cures all. That's why they don't want it legalised. But it looks like they can't avoid it because it's the truth is out there that it does cure all those things. Social media curfew on children at night. French to blame for third of delayed flights. Oh, well, we'll blame the French then. It's their fault. Peers back Brexit rebels. GCSEs the hardest ever. Aye. Harry's game. Captain pops up with late winner after giving England lead. Royal Ascot where horses are mistreated. Cannabis oil boy leaves hospital. Grenfell. How mistakes were made. Father of the bride breaks his silence on anything but royal wedding. Question time. Can retire along with David Dimbleby. The only reason that will happen is because others were going there and saying, yeah, I'll ask this question, knowing that if they asked the real question, they wouldn't get in. Then when it gets to their point to ask the question, they're asking a different question, or one that puts them on the spot. That's why they're finishing question time. Tax rises to pay for NHS boost. Prime Minister promises to put health service back on track with £20.5 billion package, but warns that taxpayers will have to shoulder part of cost. Ministers are preparing to ditch controversial reforms introduced by David Cameron's government. Well, here's something else we can do. Cut their expenses. We'll save millions then. Make sure they pay for everything, like we have to. You see how quickly things change. Financial Times. Goodwill failing. Carillion fall highlights UK and US accounting weaknesses. Corruption has become a worldwide problem, particularly in the UK, the home of corruption. Trump lashes out at Merkel over migrants. I tell you what I'd like to see is do what they did in China, where they executed those 30 politicians. If we had the same thing over here, you see how quickly they step in line. May grants Hammond free hand on tax to fund 20 billion NHS boost. Tory manifesto pledge is in jeopardy. Business and high earners set for disappointment. You got a free hand. Well, it'll increase tax by 5p. 5p. There you go. That's what we'll do. That'll give us all 100 billion. But you know, who cares? The poor pay it. We don't pay it. We're all non-domicile. We don't pay tax. You know, as MPs, and corporations don't pay tax. So why are we paying tax? Because they class us as a corporation. That's the only way they can get us into court, under the corporeal personality. Time to end this bullshit.